Hi, I'm Diana Lennon from the Ossining Public Library, and I wanted to talk to you today about one of my favorite authors, Isabel Allende. If you don't know her, I hope this will help you get to know her work better, and if you do, then maybe I can recommend a few of her books for you. You might recognize her name because her uncle was the first democratically elected socialist president of Chile, and unfortunately he was killed in the coup d'etat, the golpe de Estado in Spanish, in Chile, which brought Pinochet to power, and that happened on September 11th, 1973. So after that, Isabel and her family went to Venezuela, where she worked as a reporter for a long time, and then eventually made her way to California, where she lives today. She's very active on social media, and she's done some events on Facebook Live, which have been fabulous. She has millions of readers, and her books are published in so many languages. So obviously there's a lot there. But I just want to tell you about a few of my favorites. Her first book is called The House of the Spirits, and it's called La Casa de los Espíritus in Spanish. It was published in 1985. It has a lot of magical realism, which you might know from Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and it's fantastic. It's a great story of a family. You also might remember there was a Meryl Streep movie. Not so successful as the book, but we all know the book is always better. One of her other books I really enjoyed is Daughter of Fortune, and this is historical fiction about a woman who is in Chile. She follows her man she thinks she's in love with to California, and has all sorts of adventures along the way. Takes place in the 1800s and the gold rush in San Francisco. A lot of great history, but really the personal story is the core of this book. And it's followed by Portrait in Sepia, which is the continuing story, and it talks a lot about the true love she finds. So great story there. Another historical fiction by Isabel Allende that I enjoyed was La Isla Baha Mar, or The Island Beneath the Sea. And this is really also very interesting. A lot of history, looks at Haiti, and just wonderful. What can I say? And then really, I think this might be my favorite now. This is her book from last year. It's called Masa del Invierno in Spanish, and In the Midst of Winter in English. And it looks at three people whose lives come together in a sort of strange way, but one is an immigrant, one is a Chilean immigrant also, the younger woman's from Guatemala, and a man in Brooklyn, and how their lives all come together. I think you'll like it because a lot of it takes place in New York. There's flashbacks to Guatemala, Chile, and Brazil, but in the story they take a journey together from Brooklyn to upstate New York. And it's more than, it's for something really interesting that you need to read it to find out about, but also it's three people coming together, immigrants. It's about humanity and finding love in the midst of winter when you're older. Her latest book from 2020, which I don't have a copy of here, but you can get on Overdrive or the Libby app, is called A Long Petal of the Sea, and that line refers to a poem from Pablo Neruda, a Chilean poet, and I think you should read the book to find out what the long petal of the sea refers to, but it's about immigrants who or refugees who left after the Spanish Civil War, which was 1936 to 1939, and went on a boat chartered by Pablo Neruda, historical fact, to go to Chile and start their life there. And it's again about humanity, love, how people come together in trying times and difficult situations. So this is great reading. I really hope you read some books by Isabel Allende, and let me know what you think. I really think you'll like them. Like I said, she's one of my favorites. And one other thing I have to show you, a really great friend of mine got me a signed copy of In the Midst of Winter in Spanish. So there's nothing better than Isabel Allende. If you ever get the chance to see her speak in person, she's a fabulous speaker. And like I said, she's on social media, and her website is isabelallende.com. Check her out. I think you'll like her.